Hello, it's 18th of June 24. I'm talking about the UK general election, which will be on the 4th of July. And the only thing that matters is immigration and the stopping of it. A full pause, not just nape, as Reform are saying. It's just full pause, really, to see if it's going to work, which I don't think it is. Personally, I guess we're heading for anarchy, but that seems to be uh, an opinion you're not supposed to have. If you think, so right, say it's going to be fantastic, let everybody in, that sort of thing. Anyway, that's you should be voting for. It's good to see Nigel Farage saying things like, this should be the immigration uh, election. And then he goes on and talks about other things, but I know, yeah, I don't agree with the party system anyway, because it's like a hamper, you know. You get things you like in it, and then you get lots of things you don't like in it. Whereas that guy in Strictly Come Dancing would call it something like a paella, You're enjoying it, and then you get something funny and to chew. Len, that was. Len Goodman. Yeah, just on this subject, I'm going to talk about something else for a change today. But that's all you should be voting for. If you vote left, you should be voting Reform, at least. I used to tell you to vote Tory, because then you're at least telling them you're not voting as normal. Yeah, vote Tory if you can't vote any further right than that, but really, vote Reform, or further right even to that. But Reform will do. Then you're telling the left, we're fed up with, really. You've destroyed us already. It's already baked in. Yeah, but apart from that, I consider myself economically on the left. I mean, before I realised how we're heading for disaster, I voted independence for Scotland. Although even then I could sense that we were heading in a bad way. Well, maybe not as much. I suppose Scotland sort of wasn't affected too much then, but once you see your own area and you realise it's not going to work, it's not going to. Yeah, and I've got a lot of big groupings this time. I've got the Muslim vote's got a big grouping with a list of demands, and now I hear I've got the Hindu vote that a lot of nationalists say are a great group. For me, I don't think it's going to work across. It's just not going to work. It's not a natural situation. And 350 years of human evolution, this thing's been tried, a new experiment over the last 75 years. It's unasked. And personally, I think it's just going to be a total disaster, because the most desirable places in the world seem to be the likes of USA and Australia. But the most desirable places should be like Africa, Asia, and then you've got to have China, and it's just about economy. Anyway, yeah, so forget all that. I'm going to talk about this tax thing. As I said, economically, I would say it was left, because councils are totally skint. Do I want nice roads? Yes, I want nice roads, but they're totally skint. People, and I see that Tories are going on about low taxes and all that again, sort of reform, I'm not interested in reform apart from Emmy, really. It's a protest vote. But yeah, I mean, I've voted in the past Labour, Greens, Lib Dem, SNP, but now I'd only vote Tory or further right, really, or Social Democrat Party, who probably get the best policy on. I mean, even though it's still not good enough, they want to keep it down to like 50,000 a year. Yeah, but I'm going to talk about. I like to follow the likes of Tax Justice UK, Patreon. I mean, rich people can pay more tax. Billionaires is a ridiculous status for somebody to have. There's there comes a point where you've just got too much money. But anyway, because when you think that 2008 crash maybe maybe the billionaires could have bailed us out on their own, you know, maybe 200 of them giving $1 billion each. I don't know. So I'm looking at Tax Justice UK there. I like Patriotic Millionaires. I recommend following them on Twitter and that, on X. And here's Tax Justice UK of Patriotic Millionaires linked to this. It's 10 things that they think tax reforms you can do, the new government, that could raise 60 billion for public services and a fairer economy. So let's see. That's why Tax Justice UK and Patriotic Millionaires UK are making the case for fair tax reform, calling for political parties to consider 10 tax policies to reduce inequality and help to support high-quality public services. Yeah, because I believe in universal basic income, you know, because if you look at rich people's children, they'll start businesses, and if it fails, they'll still live in luxury, you know. If you know there's a safety net, then you can try new things. You can try going self-employed, that sort of thing. Whereas in the current system, if you're poor, you're stuck really, and you've got to work for somebody else. You're probably miserable all your life. And that's what the Tories and Labour want for you, you know. Because I believe in like a 4-day week or a 30-hour week, you know. I think Jeremy Corbyn had that policy, yeah. Because for most people, work's too much. I mean, the irony is we have our election on a working day where the workers are working and everybody else, it's a day out. It's their theme of the day. Whereas the workers may be working, you know, they may be too exhausted to vote. You should be doing a postal vote anyway, but it's a bit awkward to do that. It should be e-voting by now. And as I've said about elections, it should be more than one day, and it should be every 3 years. And we should be like the Swiss system where they have referendums, quarterly referendums all the time about big issues, even small issues from what I've seen. Yeah, and it was good to see Nigel Farage mention Switzerland the other day. So he's saying some of the right things for me, you know. He said on some issues we should be like Switzerland, and big issues where it should be referendums. And I totally agree with that, you know. I've said that before. Like, yeah, so let's look at Tax Justice UK's 10 things. Okay. 1. Apply a 2% wealth tax on assets over 10 million, raising up to 24 billion a year. See, the likes of Patriotic Millionaires on the economy, and I just trust them, you know, like I trust Dale Vince on most green issues, apart from when he gets in the social stuff and that, but green stuff about wind farms and that, yeah.